Hello everyone, we are here back. I'm Pedro Torres casting with LDF, this amazing tournament of GGtoor, Chill TCG, $500 cash, free-to-play tournament, and we are in the first top 4 match. What's up LDF, how you doing? You doing well?
I'm doing good. Yep. We are in the top four. Surprisingly, no Mew Genesect in top four. It's Urshifu, Moltres, and a Zacian deck, and then two Suicune Ludicolo, which is what KVI is playing against here. He is up against a Suicune Ludicolo deck. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's correct. Sadly, no Mewgen set. I kinda wanted to watch some action of
Mhm.
this new amazing deck. What looks like one of the best deck in the format. But well, we have two amazing and cool decks too. Like you said, between Suicune Ludicolo, what is two Suicune Ludicolos in this top 4 bracket against right now KVI with Urshifu, Moltres, Inteleon. I guess the matchup is definitely really close, mainly because well, the coin flip maybe matters a lot because Urshifu turn 2, that 120 damage to one Lota and one
Mhm.
Sobel, or just two Sobels, maybe makes Gabriel struggle to set up. But if Gabriel go first in the next game, probably maybe with the Suicune attack turn 2, hitting a lot of damage could be definitely crucial. So I guess it's gonna be an interesting matchup because both deck has options to win. There is no auto loss, no auto win matchup in at any point. I guess both decks has a lot of chances to win.
Yep.
So well, let's see that turn one setup of KVI with Urshifu and Energy is okay. No Sobel, but that's when Urshifu VMAX in hand, and the setup of Gabriel with Lotat, double Sobel and Suicune looks promising, right?
Yeah, I think now all KVI needs here is just a switch and an energy, and he can already get a turn to rapid flow off. And it looks like Gabriel's start is insane here. We do see a full field of Pokemon, three Sahavos, a Lotad, and an extra Suicune. So basically the perfect start you could ask for.
Yeah, that's correct. And yeah, Gabriel said, "All right, I maybe spent the rapid flow KO my two Sobels. I'm gonna bench three Sobers on one just in case to get the chance to evolve at least one Drizzle. And well, no Melanie for Gabriel on one to put pressure into the Moltres. But after that research, uh, Gabriel's setup looks really cool with double Suicune, triple Sobel, and a lot to potentially one hit KO the Moltres next turn. That's actually the escape rope,
Mhm.
putting a Sobel in play, and there is no energy for
Yeah.
KVI. So looks like a Gelthros for a knockout is going to be that turn 2. And well, actually, KVI needs to be careful with the bench space, mainly because
Yeah.
Suicune hits for more damage depending on the Pokemon in the bench of both players. That's why KVI decided to not bench the second Urshifu V yet. But I
Mhm.
guess Suicune is going to hit for a lot of damage this turn, right?
Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing. When navigating the Suicune matchup, you have to be really careful with what you bench. You can actually not bench that many Pokemon and try to play around the Suicune's numbers a little bit, especially when they try to two-shot you or they try to quick shooting you or drop a Ludicolo on you. So I think if KVI plays this smart, I think KVI is destined to win. I think Gmax Rapid Flow is really good against Suicune Ludicolo. And the Moltres could be a pretty cool backup attacker here against these Suicunes. So we'll have to see. KVI plays his own Inteleon engine. So I actually think one Inteleon quick shooting and a Moltres Aura Burn is enough to KO a Suicune without a Cape of Toughness on it, which will be interesting to see how that all plays out here. So we'll have to see how it goes. I will say I think KVI's setup is not as good as he would want it to be, as opposed to Gabriel's setup. But we'll see if the Urshifu can kind of put up a fight here before we see it get KO'd by Suicune.
Yep, exactly. So, well, after this Marnie, double level ball for KVI, what means probably double Sobel in play, and Drizzle waiting for the next turn, but still no energy after research, plus a Marnie of the Gabriel side. Still no energy for KVI. As you said, let's see the power of the Inteleon engine if both decks. Looks like Gabriel has a really good turn 1 and turn 2 setup. Looks like crazy how Suicune Ludicolo can actually uh, battle and fight against the VMAX, really popular VMAX decks like Urshifu
Mhm.
VMAX, and that's actually turn 2 Ludicolo hitting for 1 extra damage, double Drizzle,
Yep.
all the Suicunes. Well, looks like even with the first prize taken for KVI, Gabriel looks in a really good spot because that double drizzle will be a potential Inteleons in the mid late game, which is gonna hit for 20 damage thanks to the ability turn by turn. So well, actually Suicune is gonna support and tank one hit of Urshifu, and I guess the price trade is gonna be really good for Gabriel, mainly because Suicune can actually hit for a lot of damage and takes 3 potential price on Urshifu VMAX in 2 turns, and Suicune only gives 2 price but hit for a lot of damage, and you can actually use multiple Suicunes in multiple turns thanks to the Melony hitting 1 energy for free, drawing 3 cards. It's like a welder, but the water welder, right?
Exactly. Basically a water welder. Yeah, there we go. We do see the Blizzard Rondo hitting for 240 damage, not at one shot because KVI didn't play many Pokemon down, but he is basically saying to that Urshifu, I'm going to be able to KO it next turn. And of course, the Urshifu doesn't play any Cheryl, so no healing. So basically, this Urshifu here has to probably move out of the active spot, I would say, because it is going to get KO'd unless he wants to rapid flow the 2 Drizziles, which wouldn't be terrible. But the problem is you have to also deal with the Suicune in the active spot.
Yeah, actually, escape rope top deck is a potential. All right, I'm gonna save my Urshifu at least 1 turn. Maybe gonna put the Sobel or the Moltres in play. I guess both looks like fine options. But well, now Suicune is way happier because double Sobel in play. Thanks to that, Suicune hits for 40 more damage. So well, actually, Gabriel decided to put Drizzle, and KVI is like, all right, I'm gonna put Sobel. I wish you don't have a Shady Dealings in Teleon that actually takes 2 trainers, what could be Escape Rope and Boss Order, or just a retreat option plus Boss Order. But that's the Evolution Instance. Let's see if that Inteleon is not priced, because if it's in the deck, looks like this Marnie destroyed KVI turn with this Escape Rope and Pass, and that's the Shady Dealings
Yep,
Inteleon.
there it
Looks like
is.
a switching option plus Boss, and I guess even with the KVI Drizzle in hand, sorry, Gabriel is in a really good spot with this insane setup, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, Gabriel can just like scuba net the Inteleon, go into the Suicune, boss the Urshifu, and KVI doesn't have much going. I mean, no energy in the discard, no energy on Moltres. I mean, not even. It's going to be pretty hard for KVI, I think, to make a comeback at this point. I think Gabriel is going to be pretty far ahead if he is able to KO the Urshifu here. Yeah, there's a Scuba Net and Evolution Incense. Um, if Gabriel doesn't KO the Urshifu this turn, I think KVI could have a shot of maybe crawling back in. But I think if the Urshifu dies here, it's going to be pretty hard for KVI to make the comeback. There is the boss. Going to probably go after Urshifu. There it is. Yep, the Urshifu will get KO'd here, which is huge.
Wow, and that's actually the turn 3 knockout after the KVI whiffing the crucial energy turn 2 after the research. That actually probably changed the matchup completely, because with a turn 2, the rapid flow into 2 Sobels probably, KVI will be so happy with that turn, but just whiffing 1 energy changed completely the matchup in in Gabriel's favor for now. And like you said, even if KVI has a Drizzle in hand, I guess the comeback option is going to be complicated for KVI, because he decided to not bench the second Urshifu turn 2, avoiding the Blizzard Rondo for more damage. But because of that, after the Marnie, KVI may be regretting now to not benching the Urshifu turn 2, because, well, he cannot evolve the Urshifu VMAX. So Moltres in play, but as you said, the important part of right now is no energy for KVI, right?
Yep, and it's going to be pretty tough, I think, for KVI. I mean, the Moltres might be able to survive a turn here, potentially. But yeah, it's just not looking good for KVI, especially if we see another boss's order from Gabrielle here. We could even see another Rapid Strike Urshifu get KO'd if he's trying to establish a second Urshifu. Well, actually, he did prize his other Urshifu, it looks like. He only plays 3, and the one's in his hand, none in his deck. So actually, it looks like KVI's just out of Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAXs, which is pretty bad. I mean, that is your best attacker in this matchup, especially since it does have 330 HP, which does make it pretty tanky against Suicune, as opposed to 320. I would just see the concede there.
KVI goes first again. Let's see if KVI can actually hit the rapid flow turn 2, hitting for 2 potential prizes. But with this star, it's gonna be complicated, right?
Yep, it's going to be Pretty complicated for sure. We do see KVI here with not the greatest start ever. He does have a turn 1 keep calling if he wants, next turn, but it looks like he drew an Evil Wind, so he could level ball for another Sobble here. Um, he's just not able to get a Rapid Strike or Shifu down, so he's not gonna be able to threaten the turn 2 Rapid Flow, which is a pretty big deal here for KVI. So I think it's just get a Sobble and then pass, and then, whatever happens next turn, you can probably get another Urshifu down. He's just gonna be a turn behind, which I just don't think he wants to be.
Yeah, just needed a quick ball. Our Shifu and KVI will be in an amazing and insane spot. Well, he actually reached the top four thanks to that insane deck. But sometimes, having like Inteleon Engine plus Moltres plus Urshifu, maybe a lot of
Mhm,
pieces that sometimes you whiff the quick ball, you just whiff the Urshifu and probably struggle to actually set up. But KVI going first means, well, maybe it's like a turn that he couldn't advance a lot. But well, let's see if Gabriel has a turn like before, like that game one, what was kind of crazy. Was kind of crazy. Actually,
mhm.
there is two Suicons Ludicolos into four, so probably one of the best deck in the format, if not the best, because well, even with the Fusion Strike new set, I guess Suicune Ludicolo has literally no new cards, right?
Yeah, it's basically if anything, I think it might have gone a little bit stronger. I think Suicune Ludicolo has a decent single strike matchup, and I think it's pretty decent against Mew because Mew does tend to bench a lot of Pokemon, which plays pretty well into Suicune's attack. It's just a pretty solid all around deck. And I think that it's potentially the best deck in the format, as you said. It is cool to see that a stage 2 deck and a basic heavy deck can be potentially the best deck in the format.
Yeah, even with no VMAX, like Suicune being just a basic that you can attack
Mhm,
with it and giving to prices. No VMAX, I'm probably the best deck in the format right now because it actually surprised me how I thought, all right, Suicune Ludicolo, sweetness to Lightning, but there is no Lightning popular deck right now, only Jolteon VMAX. And we saw how in
mhm,
top 8 there was Suicune Ludicolo against Jolteon, and Suicune still advanced to top 4. So that was kind of crazy how still you beat the Autoros, what is just
mhm.
Jolteon VMAX, and yeah, you had a chance to beat Jolteon. So if you can beat Jolteon, you can beat everything in this format. So I
Exactly.
remember playing this deck a few weeks ago in real life tournament and being really powerful and being really feeling really good playing the deck,
Yep.
super consistent. You can actually answer a lot of matchups. You can beat B-Max, you can beat one price attacker decks. It's really versatile, and thanks to Melanie, the deck is so strong to actually attack turns by turn.
Yep.
So actually, that's a energy search for a
Hmm.
dark energy into the Sobel. Not sure what KVI want to do because he's still thinking about the
Yeah.
Drizzle. And yeah, he decided to just keep calling and chill one turn, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Probably get a couple Urshifus down. Keep Calling does power up Suicune, and you still have to be a little careful with how many Pokemon you do put on your bench. But I think KVI is looking towards a Raihan play, judging from the energy attachments. Because KVI does play 3 copies of Raihan in his list, so he can try to Raihan. If the Sobble gets KO'd, he can go Raihan and Rapid Strike Energy, which will allow him to Rapid Flow in one turn if you don't want to go for the Moltres E-Switch count.
That's correct. I'm
Yep.
not a big fan of the big right hand count of this deck, but well, the deck is into four, super
Mhm.
strong. I guess Suicune Inteleon with the snipe and the Ludicolability could maybe try to avoid the potential right hand if you just put the Urshifus like 24 damage short, 40
Yep.
damage short, and finish them with Inteleon. So maybe Suicune managed to actually fix these mats to let KVI don't. Put a lot of pressure with dry hand, but well, that's actually boss turn two. And yeah,
There
let's
we
see
go.
if actually Suicune takes a prize or not. Actually, he needs full bench for the 220 damage. There is actually only 4 Pokemon in the bench of KVI, still only 3 from Gabriel's side. But I guess
Yeah.
Gabriel is gonna just decide to put pressure into the Sushifu. Or maybe Gabriel has a Rare Candy or Ludicolo, so Drizzle can maybe get the missing piece. But I guess it's gonna be a potential just hitting damage to put pressure. And let's see if
Yeah.
this evolution isn't go for Ludicolo, because at least Suicune will survive one turn, what is really important, right?
Yeah, you can also hit the Urshifu, maybe if like you can say, well, now you can't evolve the Urshifu because if you evolve it, it's heavily damaged. But if you don't evolve it, I can knock you out with extra quick shootings down the road. And I think that's what he might be eyeing up here, hitting for 180 damage, leaving the Urshifu at 40 HP remaining. So if KVI wants to evolve that now, he does run the risk of having the Urshifu get KO'd down the road. So pretty good. I think that was a fine play by Gabriel. Also, not knocking out the Sobbles means that you don't put the energy in the discard pile for either Raihan or Moltres, which is pretty smart. So I think Gabriel's just kind of playing around what KVI is trying to do here, which is pretty smart.
Yep, I really like that play because with no healing options, just hitting the potential V or V max, let KVI. All right, if I evolve, that's gonna be 3 prizes. If I don't evolve, still 2 prizes in play that you will probably lose with some Inteleon pins. So Gabriel could potentially take 5 prizes in one turn thanks to that. I like that because with boss you put pressure, no matter if for a big knockout or just for putting some damage. Because thanks to the Inteleon, you can actually finish them. And yeah, actually KVI with a better setup than game one for sure. And yeah, looks like a Tower of Waters and restricting this Urshifu is gonna hit for 150. But yeah, Suicune is super tanky, hitting right now with 260 HP. Thanks for the cape. And well, actually the price trade is gonna be really good for Gabriel still because he's at 2 price against 3 price attackers and both goes to hit KO. But the KVI decided for an switch and G-Mass Overflow, and that's a really interesting play, deciding for just go Suicune and Lotat. No Ludicolo option anymore for now, but all the Sobbles can actually evolve this turn for a potential Inteleon later. That's an interesting
Yeah.
G-Max Rabbit Flow, right?
I think that might have been correct, especially if you want to maybe set up the Suicune to get killed by Gale Thrust with a few quick shootings and maybe even Moltres. And I think that Lotad definitely is maybe the biggest threat on the board. It might not seem like it, but KOing the Lotad does mean that you do avoid a potential Ludicolo KO out of nowhere. So I think you always want to be doing that as an Urshifu player, is maybe taking out the Lotads before they become an issue with Ludicolo. So now Gabriel can't KO this Urshifu VMAX this turn, but he can put still a lot of pressure on it. And actually, KVI still has his other Urshifu in play that's heavily damaged. He doesn't have a third Urshifu, so both of KVI's big Pokemon here are going to have quite a bit of damage on them.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, actually, no Lotus, so no legal option. So you need to just hit for probably 100 something with the Suicune. And I guess Gabriel is definitely looking for a potential second Suicune to have another attacker for next turn. And yeah, KV actually pressuring the Suicune looks really cool because it's actually the Pokemon in this, putting pressure to you. So thanks to that, well, KV actually put a clock into Gabriel. Like, all right, you need to hit my Urshifu, and I have a potential evolution instance for another Inteleon or Drizzle
Yep.
to set up a potential other Urshifu or just Passimian to hit a lot of damage from a bench Suicune, because right now with double Drizzle, Inteleons are coming for KVI. So I guess this matchup is going to be really close, and definitely Gabriel in a complicated spot. But well, that's double Drizzle, actually Inteleon probably getting another Suicune, and maybe just a Melanie for the Suicune in the bench, or just trying to get probably a research plus an attack. So let's see what Inteleon brings to Gabriel's hand.
Yep.
And yeah, I would probably say maybe research and, hopefully in the research getting an energy and maybe another evolution instance to put the first Inteleon in play. Let's see what Gabriel decides, right?
Yeah, I think we might just see that actually too. Especially quick shooting can actually put pressure on that bench Urshifu. In just a couple turns, that Urshifu can get killed by quick shootings, which will be pretty good. So it can be like maybe knock out the active Urshifu VMAX, kill the damaged Urshifu, and then just kill like Sobble or Drizzile for game. Could be the route that Gabriel tries to plan out here. He also wants to maybe move the Suicune actually into the fresh one, which is actually pretty smart because the bench Suicune is unlikely to get KO'd the following turn, which is pretty good.
Correct. So he decided to go for the scoop up net so the Inteleon can be reused next turn. And thanks to that, um, well, actually, another Sobble for a potential Drizzle and Inteleon next turn. And he decided to go for Melanie. So, as we said, the second Suicune is already um, full power up for next turn. So I guess the potential gameplay for Gabriel is trying to hit the Urshifu after a potential Gale Thrust trying to take a knockout, and yeah, maybe KVI with another energy switch or just right hand maybe is able to actually KO the Lotte again, plus a potential 120 to the
Yep.
Suicune, because with 5 press remaining, I guess the best win condition of KVI is try to KO the Suicune active, try to G-Max probably Lotte and the second Suicune, and try to finish the game with a potential boss order. So KVI top decking the Drizzle, that actually changed a lot, because you don't need to evolution instance for a Drizzle, you can just use it for Inteleon, and yeah, decided
Mm-hmm.
and calculating probably if he can evolve the Urshifu in the bench to the VMAX, because then opens a door for Gabriel to get a game in 2 turns, KOing 2 Urshifu VMAX. So actually, complicated decision from KVI. That's why he's thinking a lot, because this turn looks like super, super crucial, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty crucial turn for sure. There's the Drizzile. Probably, I imagine it's Professor's Research. Or Energy Switch, actually. Interesting. He could go Energy Switch, but I feel like you also might want to get a supporter here. Kind of just looking through his deck. The Moltres are there. 2 Rapid Strike Energies also in the deck. See, I'm curious to see what KVI's line of play is here. Grabbing the energy switch to move the energy off of the Drizzile, looks like, or the Sobble. Unless KVI has another way to get more cards in his hand. I wonder what he's eyeing up here. Just going for the energy switch. Yeah, he has an Evo Wind Sense. I guess he can still get Inteleon. Which he does play. He does play the 1 copy of Shady Dealings Inteleon, so that option is still available to him if he wants to go that route. He's actually getting rid of the Urshifu. So that bench Urshifu will not evolve just yet, it looks like. And actually going for Crobat. So it looks like he really wants to draw some cards here. Might Evo Wind Sense for Inteleon, another Urshifu, or he's going to drop Crobat now, only drawing 4 cards. And, he still gets some stuff he can work with. As long as he can evolve Drizzile, he can still do some stuff. He can also retreat into the other Urshifu and Gale Thrust for 150.
Actually, this Crobat, I was thinking about that option. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like a lot, because,
Yeah.
well, actually didn't give KVI a potential advantage, right? And now this evolution is probably gonna be game changing. As we said, Gabriel now looks like probably super happy for
Mm-hmm.
that evolution instance and evolving the Urshifu VMAX, because Gabriel right now has the option to win in 2 turns if KVI cannot stop that before. I guess instead of Quick Ball the Crobat, I was thinking just to try to go there Urshifu V, what is the KVI Urshifu has in hand right now. But then he
Yeah.
had no draw of any way. But yeah, KVI decided just to go Crobat. That's the option. No, didn't get a supporter that helped this turn, because right hand cannot be activated only if you get knocked out. But yeah, with
Mm-hmm.
only 2 Urshifu's in play and both getting damage, if Gabriel after this knockout finds the next boss order, looks like Gabriel can win if he's able to find another Suicune, what looks like it's gonna be able,
Mm-hmm.
because after the scoop up net, Inteleon is in Gabriel's hand. So, well, I guess I was thinking KVI option could be also the 150 option with the basic Urshifu was damage instead of evolving it. But now is 6 price in play that Gabriel can win in 2 turns after
Yeah.
being 3 price behind, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what we're going to see here. Even he's starting to build up the Drizzile, opening the door for the potential to attack with Inteleon. There we go. There's Shady Dealings. And then we'll see what Gabriel decides to grab here. But yeah, I mean, he's close to winning. He just needs to KO these 2 Urshifus to end the game off. And KVI has no healing. But KVI does need to take 3 prizes. So KVI is itching closer to winning the game with only 3 prizes remaining. Just needs to KO Suicune and then, yeah, one of the low HP Pokemon.
Correct, and it was interesting to see how Gabriel decided to attach the energy into Inteleon, because probably we probably will watch a Aqua Ballet for game if Gabriel
Mm-hmm.
is able to actually kill the Urshifu in the bench, because the Urshifu in the active is gonna be knocked out, um, because after getting 3 prizes, you actually give 3 prizes, and yeah, the boss order turn 1, turn 2 for Gabriel was actually super crucial to hitting that Urshifu V, and thanks to
Yep.
that, he's probably gonna be able to win next turn if Gabriel is able to find the boss order. So actually, after getting three prizes, I thought KVI was in a good spot, but Gabriel just
Hmm.
need an energy and a boss order to win the game thanks to the Aqua Ballet plus Inteleon ability pin to win the game, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's getting pretty close here for both players. I think KVI can still squeak out a win if things go KVI's way here, but it is looking like Gabriel is going to potentially have game next turn as long as he still has one more boss's order within the deck to KO that benched Urshifu here. And I mean, I think KVI might have to. I mean, I want to say he wants to rapid flow here, but if he leaves Urshifu in the active, he gets killed by Suicune. And if he wants to rapid flow the two Shady Dealings out, he doesn't have the ability to. He'll get killed by the Suicune. But if he doesn't kill the Shady Dealings, we could just see a Shady Dealings for boss for game. So not looking good for KVI. I mean, he had no Moltres established, no second Urshifu, and that's just not looking good.
Yeah, that's correct. And well, Gabriel's looks like really happy right now because KVI feel is just three Drizzle that cannot attack at all, and well, you can attack actually with the Inteleon and the Rapid Strike Energy, but just hitting for 70 damage thanks to the Waterfall. But the real attacker, what is Urshifu VMAX, is heavily damaged thanks to the previous boss from Gabriel. So KBI, I guess, just need to pray, try to set up another Urshifu with right hand hitting for 150, thanks to the right hand plus energy attachment, and then try to go right hand again or just any or stuff like that to try to go G max rapid flow for game. So it's gonna be right
Yep.
hand into the Urshifu B max. Looks like, I guess the option should definitely be going Urshifu B basic plus a right hand hitting for 150, right? So
Yep.
he just decided to go quick shooting plus waterfall. It's gonna be 90 damage, but Urshifu hits it for 120 with the Gmax rapid flow is actually 120 plus 90 with the giant cape. I guess Suicune will survive next turn, but let's see if
Hmm.
Gabriel is able to win the game and advance into the finals with the boss orders. Let's see if he's in the deck.
Yeah, here we go. Shady Dealings. This will guarantee boss. There it is,
There we
and there we
go.
go.
And Gabriel comeback this amazing game thanks to the Suicune attack hitting for Urshifu V in the early
Yep.
game and then just waiting KVI evolve that Urshifu and winning in 2 turn, 6 prizes because VMAX, they are strong, but they give 3 prizes, right? That's a lot.
Yep.
That's actually crazy. So, well,
Hmm.
actually,
Well, here we go.
congrats to Gabriel. Congrats to Gabriel for advancing to the finals.